Welcome to Cecil.tv. It's July the 24th and we're here in our spacious studio in Calvert, Maryland. I would just like to say that Cecil.tv this past weekend, was at a house party and saw the great Rory Sullivan, singer-songwriter, and you should see some of that tonight. But right now, let's get started. Let's get real. We have Lorri and April. Lorri Irrgang, tell us about Let's Get Real.
Okay, well, Let's Get Real is for the family advocacy group, and mostly when your loved one is, struggling through addiction or alcoholism, there isn't a place to turn, and it's a really lonely place for the family. So my passion is to help family members, and that's what Let's Get Real is. Let's get real about addiction in the family. So I'm trying to develop the real method, which is recognize, educate, accept, and love, to try and help them to move through that process and the journey that the parents are going to be on with their loved one.
And people come to you, and you also go to them?
Yes. I get phone calls. And we go to them. April and I have started working together because we both do both. We do help the children, the siblings, or whatever. But we're trying to integrate ourselves, for lack of a better way of saying it. And then, so that when we meet with the family, I'll work with the family. She works with the person that needs the
I see that. And April, you both work together in the STEPS.
Well, I have my organization is Steps Recovery Resources.
Right, okay.
And we're a nonprofit in the state of Maryland, and Lorri and I decided to get together because her passion is the family. Mm-hmm. My passion is just helping people through addiction. When my daughter was going through all of this, there weren't very many people that could help me. So I didn't want anybody to go on this journey alone ever again. So one of the things that I decided to do was to start an organization. And STEPS is Standing to Educate and Promote Sobriety. So this integrates the entire family also. So when Lorri and I got together, we can do a family separately and we can do a family together. It's much easier for us to do them together than separately because she can focus on the parents or siblings or the spouse, where I can concentrate on the person that's looking for substance use.
It's kind of a unique
rehab
approach.
Right, and I would imagine that the person who's addicted or needs rehab may just be focusing on themselves and their struggle and not realize what their family's going through.
Correct,
right.
And they usually don't understand because their focus is themselves.
And then most of the time people come in and they come in with to help the addict or the substance use illness. So you can't just help that person because you're leaving everybody else that has been part of the storm,
right, sure.
for lack of a better way of putting it.
Right.
So you have to address, if you don't do the whole family, then you're missing a huge component of that person coming out of rehab or coming out of sober living,
right.
And the family is going to continue the same thought patterns, the same verbalizations to them, the same patterns of their behavior.
Right.
So then it's just a vicious cycle.
Right.
When families finally get it and things start to work, what did they tell you about your services? I imagine they're very happy.
Yes. Right now, I've helped a young lady that actually was overdosing on the phone while I was talking to her. She now has over a year and has got her first apartment all by herself in Hagerstown, Maryland. I'm very proud of her. She calls me periodically to tell me thank you. There's just people that just the word thank you is important, and knowing that that person is attempting to go on and become the person that they were supposed to be is huge. So watching them grow as a human being and healing and making sure that the entire family heals. Yeah. Because without that entire family healing, the person that has the substance use illness has less of a chance of succeeding.
Right, and families can be very much in a dark place throughout all this, especially with active addiction. I mean, family seems many times to be the first target of the addict trying to feed their habit.
Yes. Absolutely, and they have a lot of guilt, for things that they want to get their life back, but that would mean that things they have to do to their loved one is not, it's kind of productive from what they would raise any other child and do. But we did help a family recently where I always the constant calls, the text messages, because it's every phase. It's not just when you're there with the person who doesn't want to go to get help. It's after that. Okay, they're there now. She's calling me and they're saying this or they're struggling with that, and then they get out of rehab and they are, they're still manipulating, and so the family's calling. What do I do now? This is what she's saying. Do they really have to go there? And so it's every step of the way. So we kind of we're available all the time for people to answer their questions. And then it's often, I knew if I called you, I'd feel better. I knew if I called you, I knew what I was thinking was the right thing. They just need support and guidance, really, to head the direction.
Well, I know with the opioid epidemic that we have in the county, everything helps. Do you have upcoming events?
We do.
Right now, our first upcoming event will be on August 26th. We're joining with Harford County at the Rage Against Addiction that's going on in Tidings Park in Havre de Grace. Everything's going to start at 1 o'clock through 4 o'clock. They're going to have a lot of vendors with information for both Harford and Cecil County. And then we were also going to join the Elkton Fall Fest. That is due to go off on September 16th, and that's usually down Main Street in Elkton. So we're looking forward to both of those events in the near future.
But she's missing some important news.
Port deposit.
Yes.
We have
That's what I was
port
waiting to get to,
deposit.
port deposit, my town.
Yes.
21904.
Our important news is that we now have an office in Port Deposit where we will be able to meet families and give them better services in the privacy. Right now, we've been either meeting them in a public place or going to their homes. So this will give us an office where we can go and provide them with the resources that they need and talk privately rather than being in a public place and possibly having somebody overhear a conversation.
Sure, sure.
So beginning the second Wednesday in August, we will be at 64 South Main Street, which is Port Deposit Town Hall. On the second floor, we will have signs outside to direct you. We'll be there from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m., but we are always available via phone. And we can also make appointments on other dates other than that if that's not convenient for them.
Yeah, we're really excited.
And that's the big granite building, has the waterfall beside it and everything?
Yes.
Yep.
Awesome.
Yep.
So, upcoming events, you offer a lot, and I think
Yes, we also have
April,
support groups that we do. I do Smart Recovery on Thursday nights at Haven House beginning at 6 o'clock, and that's in Elkton. And then I also have one on Saturday morning at 10 a.m. at Jane's United Methodist Church in Rising Sun. Lorri does a Narnon, which is for parents. It's actually on Monday nights at 7 o'clock.
I'm heading there next.
At Bethel Lutheran Church.
It's equivalent of a 12-step program for the family.
Right.
So it really coincides, so you end up being able to speak the same language as your person who's going to meetings.
So
and
when the person in recovery talks about gratitude,
Right.
the family maybe is accepting or whatever.
Right, but Naranon is not how to fix and help your loved one. It's how to get ourselves back.
Oh, okay.
It really is, because we get sick and we don't make good decisions. We make emotional decisions instead of intellectual decisions, and so it's really how can we get our life back. Some people get your nails done or a pedicure because they're not getting out of their house, and it's very simple things like that. But then it progresses to making better decisions for their loved one. So it's a little bit different. And then I hope to do a smart recovery for the family. I'm just not quite ready for that, but we'll let you know when we're going to add that.
And that'll integrate their family and friends, and they'll understand a little bit more about smart recovery and how they can help them.
Another resource for Cecil County. Several resources. Thank you, ladies. Did we miss anything before we close?
I don't think so.
Nope, I don't think so. We're just happy
Thank you
to
for having us.
be able to announce this evening that where we're going to be from
Yeah.
now on. That's huge for us right now.
I'd love that
and
building.
families that
I'll be
need
stopping
support.
down just to say hey and see how it's
Oh,
going.
that would be fabulous. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Rory Sullivan, describe your music.
I'd say indie acoustic folk music.
How'd you get your start?
I started with the violin and learned the guitar and started writing songs and just started playing out everywhere I could. And one thing led to another, and I made a record, and I've got a few of them, and that's how it's going.
And you played in Cecil County for a while, right?
Yeah, I went to school at the Tome School, and then I went to Cecil College for music after that. So big ties to the city. I played, at the Cecil County Fair every year too. So that kind of always draws me back.
What day will you be playing this week?
I believe it is the last Saturday, the very last night of the fair, 7 to 10 o'clock at the free entertainment tent.
Very cool. And so how'd you get to New Orleans?
We had a great vacation, and day two, we just decided to move everything down there. It's just a really magical place, tons of inspiration.
Yeah. And so what's next for you?
I have a writing project with my wife right now, so we're kind of doing other sorts of songwriting. But maybe a move out west, actually, to pursue some of that work. So kind of going in that direction. But yeah, always on the run.
Very cool. Thank you.
Feel your nerves, babe. You're shaking like a leaf. Your life's full of doubts now, but you can fall asleep next to me. Hit the highway, the city left behind. I see a tear in her eye now, but she won't cry for long. Oh, it's something. When you got someplace to be. Oh, it means nothing until you're right here with me. How we doing, Maryland? Are we all right tonight? The truth is calling. The north is getting cold. We've got hope in our hearts now. The willows weep alone till the wind blows. Oh, it's something. When you got someplace to be. Oh, it means nothing till you're right here. Till you're right here with me. Oh, it's something. When you got someplace to be. Oh, it means something. Oh, and it means nothing until you're right here with me. Thank you. Call it out, sure. They might hear it in the distance, bouncing off the waves out here. Wind is blowing through your brown hair. See the ocean shine just like dark. Street lights bending in the light that shone. Reflects back on all the times we've known. Gets everything this feels like home. See the mirrors dancing. Over time, we've grown closer.